Hello students, welcome to COM 555. We're in week 7. This week we're looking at uses and gratifications from communication and how that applies to our course. We're in week 7, so we're finishing up the networked text. We do have our book review due on that text this week, and we're also completing discussion board number 7. We have a couple of videos that are really pertinent to our learning. We're looking at how social media can make us unsocial. We're looking at some people that spent a year offline and what they learned from that and what you're missing by becoming a digital zombie. Like I said, we're working on discussion board number 7 and book review number 2. So book review number 2 is completed in the same manner as book review number 1, except you're doing it this time on the networked text, the social operating system. You need to establish a background and remember your audience. You need to review and go over minor and major principles of the text, as well as a critical review on your thoughts. You do need to include at least 4 scholarly research articles that relate to the topic in order to complete an accurate and solid critical review. And then you need to evaluate the book on a number of different levels that you feel in terms of giving it how effective you felt the book was in communicating different principles to the audience. Your paper needs to be 5 to 7 pages in length and be in full APA format. If you have questions, do contact me. Discussion board number 7 asks you to view the TED Talk, How Social Media Makes Us Unsocial, and complete the following. You need to go over the main points of the TED Talk. You need to talk about how it relates to the course content and what are the major assertions of the speaker and how does the scholarship support or not support their assertions. At least provide 2 research studies that support or maybe does not support what the speaker was saying about social media making us more unsocial as a society. And then lastly, provide a brief reflection of the video and your thoughts on that. Remember, this course is looking at digital communication, or communication in a digital age. So you do need to spend 400 words writing what you think about this very pointed bit of scholarship that tells us, or not scholarship, but this pointed opinion on how social media may be making us more unsocial as a society. It's a very interesting topic. As we're looking through some of those things this week, it's important to review the theory, uses and gratification, or uses and grats. Many of you have already had some time to spend looking at this theory, but this one's really applicable this weekend, kind of fine-tuning and seeing how it may relate to some of the things that we're doing. Perhaps we're becoming more unsocial as a society because we're using social media for certain gratifications. Bloomer and Katz really told us that uses and gratifications theories speaks to us by saying media users play an active role in choosing and using media, and users take an active part in the communication process. This was really fundamental at the time when they came up with it, because prior to a lot of their research, many people assumed that we are very passive and played a very passive role in the media process, but that's not true. We do take a very active part in the communication process when it comes to media and mediated communication and media usage. More particularly, audience members view media usage as goal-oriented. We are seeking out particular media sources that best fulfill the needs of the users. We consume media that helps fulfill the needs that we may have from that media. So media users always have an alternative choice to satisfy their media needs. Some people may go to talk radio to get their news. If they can't go to talk radio to get their news, then they go online or they go to a news broadcast on television. A weakness of the theory, though, is that we know there are many reasons for consuming or using media, but the only way to test that is by asking individuals. So large-scale research is needed to determine why people use different media outlets for different things. Media users typically will utilize free will to decide how they will use media, how it affects them, and what they learn from it. So what's the point of all this? If we look at uses and grats, we can see that media sources are used to fill a void or satisfy the need we may be having. We may feel the need to want to connect with people, so we go on Instagram or Facebook to see what their updates are, to feel like we are fulfilling the need of connecting and interacting with people, so we don't have to actually call them. We can just go look at their profile. So some people tell us that we usually utilize media for self-confidence, pleasure, or empowerment are 3 of the main reasons. So this graphic here tells us that from a social media perspective, we may go to Twitter to get the news, to gain credible information that's shareable and gain self-confidence, where we may use Facebook for pleasure, recognition, personalities, videos, pictures, or for empowerment, personality-driven and interactive conversations. Those needs can be relaxing, passive, passing time, entertainment, or a need to laugh or communicate with friends. But the point is that we are using social media, the latest research has shown, in the same way from uses and gratification perspective that we've used traditional media, which is very important to keep in mind. So as we go through the week 7 agenda, please keep in mind that you are completing discussion board number 7 and book review number 2. We are moving towards completing our critical assignment in week 8, so please keep actively working on that. And if you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to interacting with you. Have a good week.